Hey everybody, it's Lynn from Lynn's Crafts. Excuse the mess on my desk. I know I just cleaned it, but I can't keep it clean for any time at all. Alright, today I'm going to show you the bezels that I did. And this one is going to be a Halloween themed. So I've got this stamp set, Inkadinkado stamp set. I'm going to use this large web. You can use any stamp that you want, any texture sheet. This just happened to be what came to mind. Oh my goodness, it's really stuck. Alright. Sorry about that, I was about to sneeze. Alright. You're going to want your acrylic roller and just lay the stamp where you want the design. I want the center of the web to be closer to the top. And I really want the most open area of stamp to be closer to the bottom. In other words, I like a lot of open areas to show. Alright, that looks pretty good. And then I'm going to roll on it and I'm going to put a lot of pressure. I'm going to really put a lot of pressure. And again, this is just rolled out on a 4 on my pasta machine. About a midway. Alright, you can see how it distorted the shape. So you can get your cutter back out and reshape that. Alright. And again, this is just black Premo. Alright. Alright, what everybody wanted to know was how I made them so metallic looking. This is Alumilite metallic powder, and this is in the bronze that I'm going to use. It comes in a gold, a silver, a gunmetal, a pearlescent, a copper, and a bronze. These are very metallic when used the way I'm going to show you. So you want a soft brush. And in my world, soft is a relative term because none of my brushes are very soft. Matter of fact, I don't like that one. This one's a little better. So I'm just going to get a very little bit on the end of the brush. And just start spreading it out. And you can see right away what a metallic finish you get. You don't get this metallic finish from just every mica powder. You can kind of enhance the shine a bit after you bake it by putting a glaze on it. Alright? But the next thing we want to do is, I'm going to choose this stone. It's just one I had in my bead box that I did years ago. I'm going to put a little Bacon Bond on the back. This ultra thick bottle of Bacon Bond. It's really difficult to squeeze out. Alright. Then I'm just going to decide where I want to place it. Something about like that. Alright, you can do these one of two ways. You can roll out some more Black Premo and stamp the impression on the clay again, or you can just use it as it is. So that's what I'm gonna do. Alright. At this point, you want to move the piece over to your baking surface. I'm going to remove the stone a second. Alright. Now, you want the strip of clay to be as long as possible to go around the stone. As you can see, this piece is not long enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it back out on my pasta machine. This time I'll run it through this way. Alright. Now, you're going to cut one edge straight. And you can do this, again, one of two ways. You can either cut the top edge at a bevel, which will make the bezel edge set close to the stone, or you can cut it straight, which will give you a squared edge. Really, you can do it many ways. You could just roll out a snake and do a round bezel edge as well. Alright, so I'm going to do this one with the square edge. Not very straight, Lynn. That's a little better. Alright. Now bring the piece back over. And you're going to want to decide where you want the seam of this to be, which normally I want it kind of at the top. Alright, then I'm going to take my X-Acto. I'm going to try to show you what I'm talking about here. Alright. You want to make your cut at an angle, and the first cut you want to be the tip of this cut down. Alright, like that. Alright, then we're just going to go around with our thumb in a gentle pressure, pushing it down so it makes contact with the bottom layer of clay. I can't stress this enough when you're first starting out with polymer clay. Learning a light touch. A light touch. That will be your best friend. Alright, then we're going to let it overlap. Alright, and you can kind of see where it's overlapped. You're going to want to make that same cut. Alright. Sorry, my Primo is rather sticky this morning. Alright, and if you find that it doesn't meet exactly, for whatever reason, lift the top edge back up and just pull it a little bit. Alright, then I'm gonna take my color shaper and kind of meld those two edges together. Then I'm going to true it back up with the edge of the craft knife. Alright. Alright. Then you're going to take the bronze powder again with your soft brush. Now I'm going to go ahead and move this other round out of the way. So I don't get bronze powder all over it. And carefully, trying not to get the bronze powder all over the cabochon, which if you do, it will wipe right off because the cabochon is already baked. And that's something else I encourage you to do. If you're doing the cabochon at the same time as the rest of the piece, bake the cabochon first. Alright. Alright, there you go. Now, on this one I'm going to use this texture sheet here, and this one is from Cool Tools, and it's called Connect the Dots. I love the Cool Tools texture sheets because these are actually designed for clay, either polymer clay or precious metal clay, so they work fantastic. Alright, once again, I'm gonna use the Uber pressure. Actually, I like that shape right there. That's pretty perfect, isn't it? 1 in a million. Alright, I was going to use, well, I still will. I'm going to use silver in this one. Alright, this is the Alumilite metallic powder in the silver. And again, I'm using very light pressure just to kind of spread the mica powder around. You're not really trying to get it shiny at this point, you're just trying to spread it around. Alright, we've got it all spread on. Now we can worry about it shining it up a little bit. And really, just dragging the brush in one direction should give you that. Alright. Put the lid back on before you knock it over then. Alright. Back to the Bacon Bond. Lordy. Alright. And I'm actually gonna, again, place it a little more to the top. I like that off-centered look a little bit better. And again, I don't know why. I can't remember this, but I'm going to remove it from my glass and put it over on the tile. Alright, then I'm going to put the stone back. Alright. On this piece, I'm going to show you with the angled cut. So once again, I'm going to cut the bottom off square. Alright, and then I'm going to angle the cut. And I'm going to angle it away from me. And once again, it's not straight, but I'm going to try to make it work. This time, I'm going to add the powder first. You could have added the powder first also on the straight cut. The only thing with adding the powder first, it's a little messier. I'll show you what I mean. Also, I'm going to cut the angle first. It's a little messier because now you're touching the mica piece instead of just the clay. Alright, and again, with a light touch, go around and make sure that it is touching the bottom clay. Alright. Now sometimes when you overlap and make that cut, you'll get a piece of clay on the back side of that bezel, which you'll want to pull away before you press it down. And here's the other situation you'll find with the bezel cut, with the beveled cut. You can't just press it down with your X-Acto like you did on the square edge. So your join may not be as pretty. But you can get around that just by adding another detail. Add a leaf, or add a flower, or add something. So I'm going to add a couple of leaves. These leaves, I'm going to kind of mash them down with my finger to get rid of that cut edge. Alright, then with the back edge of my craft knife, I'm going to give them a little veining. Alright, and then of course I'm going to add some more of the silver powder. Silver metallic powder. Alright. You may want to add a little of the Bacon Bond to the back just because the cabochon is already baked. But I'm going to give it a try without. Alright, just like that. And if you want, you could add a little cubic zirconia, glass rhinestone, something like that, to the top. So, I'm going to do that as well. Alright, so I'm just going to choose sorry about that. Just clean the mica powder off my desk first. I don't want that all over my cubic zirconias. I just sprayed a little alcohol on the paper towel. Gets it right off. Alright, I love this little blue. I think that's what I'm going to use. Once again, back to the Bacon Bond. I'm just going to put a drop up here where I want the stone. Alright, then I'm going to use my jewel picker, which is a pickup stick. Which really doesn't want to stick. Alright, I'm actually just going to do it with my fingers then. Which is a bit more difficult because I have nails. So I'm going to get it in a sort of position that I want. Alright, then I'm going to press it down. And you really want to embed it not only in that Bacon Bond, but in the clay. You want to make sure it's got good contact all around. Alright, it doesn't show up real well right now. And of course, to the viewer of the necklace, they won't see it. But you'll see it when you look down. Alright. Alright. There's two. I'm going to show you one more just because I want to show you what it will look like without the bezel edge. On something, let's say, like this. Alright? So, bear with me. Alright? Now, on this one, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I'm going to use this texture sheet. This texture sheet has evidently been discontinued. I get asked all the time what the texture sheet is, and I've looked and looked. Cannot find it. Alright. If anybody knows where to find it, please say so. On this one, I'm going to go ahead and glue the piece down first. Bacon bond it down. Not really glue, but glue once it's baked. Then, just using my blade, I'm going to cut out the shape, but I'm actually going to change my mind and turn it around. Yeah. Alright. It's gone back to being hot and sticky here in Texas. Last week I was freezing my hind end off. No joke. It's been in the 50s in the morning, and now it's gone back to being in the 60s. I've got a bit of a wonky corner right here, so I'm going to go back and get rid of it. There we go. Alright. And then again, I'm going to take the stone off. And carefully, I'm doing this motion to try to keep from distorting the piece. And buddy, you're just gonna have to wait a minute. I'm not ready to let you in quite yet. Alright. Now you can see I still got a bit of distortion right there. Instead of trying to cut it, I'm just going to try to fix it. There we go. Alright. Now with this piece, I'm going to use the gold. And I'm not going to put a bezel edge around it at all. Just gonna let it kind of free float. And try not to get it on the stone. Blend. Which I'm not being very successful at all. But like I said, don't worry about it because it won't stick to the stone after it's baked. You can just get it right back off. Alright. There it is. Right up here. I messed up the shine a bit. Alright. Now, I'm going to bake these, all three, once again, at 275 for an hour. I'll be back when they're done. They're out of the oven and baked. I've rolled out another sheet of Black Primo on a 4, rolled the texture sheet on it, and now I'm going to flip it over. Alright, we need some backs. Alright, so this will be one. And this will be one. Alright. Bacon bond on the back again. And we'll glue them down and trim them out with the craft knife. I've said this before, but when you're cutting out the back, try to angle your blade inward towards the middle of the piece. That'll keep you from having any hangover. Won't keep you from having a hangover, but it'll keep your clay from hanging over the edge. Don't do that. Alright. Alright, I just need to wad up the rest of this clay and roll it out to make a back for the other one. I buy these little glue-on bales. These actually just came from China. No, these actually came from Canada. Sorry. Came from Canada. Alright. And they normally come in 4 colors. I've just used all the gold ones out of this package. So, again with the Bacon Bond, you want to fill up the depression and squeeze a little bit on the back as well. Alright, find the center of your top where you want it to hang from, and then gently pull the back away from the baked front. And then slide the bale with the curved side to the back in that little pocket that you created. Alright. Give it some gentle pressure to make sure that it's seated in the clay. Alright, then turn it over and make sure that it's centered where you want it. Alright, if you have any Bacon Bond that squeezes out, you can clean it up a little with your toothpick or whatever your tool of choice is. Alright, and then you can put some more of the amazing metallic powder on the back. Alright, so it'll match. I'm going to do that with all 3 of these, and then I'm going to bake them again. And then I will put my signature stamp on a piece of clay on the back. Alright, I'll do that right now so you can see what it looks like. Oh, sorry for the screeching. That was horrible. Alright, it just says LG. Again, I'll put it on the back with just some gentle pressure. And there, that one's done. Other than putting the mica powder on the back. The metallic powder. Alright, here they are done. Sorry, I'm holding the camera this time. With the backs on and with the mica powder on. I also wanted to show you this one that I did with I did a couple of snakes rolled out really thin and twisted them together for the bezel edge. Alright, still needs to be baked. Alright, so there they are, 3 different bezel styles that you can use with any polymer clay cabochon. Okay, 4 different bezel styles if you count the other one. There are many other styles you could choose. These are just some of the simple ones. Alright, thanks everybody for watching. Bye now.